And everybody talking about gun control. Gotta get rid of the guns. Fuck that, I like guns. You got a gun, you don't have to work out. I ain't working out. I ain't jogging. You got pecs, I got texts. Oh, man, shit. You don't need no gun control. You know what you need? We need some bullet control. We need to control the bullets. That's right. I think all bullets should cost $5,000. $5,000 for a bullet. You know why? Because if a bullet costs $5,000, there'll be no more innocent bystanders. Be it. Be it. Every time somebody gets shot, you be like, damn, he must have did something. Shit, they put $50,000 worth of bullets in his ass. And people will think before they kill somebody if a bullet costs $5,000. Man, I would blow your fucking head off if I could afford it. I'm gonna get me another job, I'm gonna start saving some money, and you a dead man. You better hope I can't get no bullets on layaway. So even if you get shot by a stray bullet, you won't have to go to no doctor to get it taken out. Whoever shot you, take their bullet back. I believe you got my property.
I guess the thing most talked about in the country today, and I'd be interested in your opinion, is what we do about guns.
Well, you can't get rid of guns. You know, that's, you know, so what are the alternatives? You know,
What do we do?
Guns don't go away. It's a Second Amendment right, obviously. So guns aren't going to go away. Violence isn't going to go away. It's a human failing, I guess, and has been for thousands of years. You know, somebody's always wanted to...
Cain killed Abel.
Yeah, somebody's always wanting to take your stuff, you know, or play their power over you in some way, and that's just a human failing. So, you know, taking people's right to protect themselves from bad people that would do that is not something you can do. You can't
Well, what about
take away their right to
What
do
about
that,
armaments,
you know?
like machine guns or guns that things that you can kill 12 people in one setting?
Yeah, well, those aren't legal in our country. You know, machine guns, automatic weapons aren't legal in our country. Yet that's not going to stop a bad guy from turning it in, getting a semi-automatic weapon and turning it, you know, adapting it so it can fire
But the society
multiple
can't
rounds.
give up, right?
No, obviously not. But remember the bank robbers here in Los Angeles? 2 bank robbers, heavily armed. They had body armor all over themselves. They had machine guns, and they were outgunning the police officers at that time. I remember watching that on television. It was horrifying. The bad guys somehow turned their semi-automatic weapons into machine guns. So bad guys with bad ideas are going to do bad things, and that's something that we have to try to prevent, you know.
Oh boy.
Knock, knock.
Whoa. What is this, a pirate gun?
It's old school.
Yeah?
Like you, right?
All right.
Get down! Down, down, down! Go, go, go!
Do you support additional gun control stuff like the assault weapons ban and things like that?
No, I think that you can't start to pick apart anything out of the Bill of Rights without thinking that it's all going to become undone. If you take one out or change one law, then why wouldn't they take all your rights away from you? I don't really have an opinion one way or the other, but I know what happens when crazy people pick up weapons and commit mass murder. That's a very different thing than a piece of entertainment that is more like a roller coaster ride, where you get to experience the thrills and chills of almost being in a crash, or almost going too fast with the car, or almost flying off the rails. But we're not making movies about madmen. So it's a difficult thing, and I really feel bad for those families. I'm a father, and it's just a tragedy. But I don't know how you legislate insanity. I don't know what you do about it. I don't even know how you begin to stop that.
I guess you've done this before.
Don't encourage him.
Come and get him!
The real life topic really is diminished by suggesting that anything in Hollywood caused the circumstances that just happened recently and happen anytime somebody goes a little off the rails or a lot off the rails. That is a totally different story. We're not making movies about people that have gone berserk or gone nuts. Those kind of movies wouldn't last very long at all. I've answered this question from time to time, but I don't think the one thing has to do with anything with the other. No one commits a crime because they saw a film. There's nothing to support that.
You gave me your word. You're getting out of that business.
This is the last time. I'll never do this again.
Taylor Kwan, WDC PD.
I thought I smelled a cop.
I'm not interested in some disposable hired hitter. I want the guys who took out your partner.
There was about 9 years where I might as well have been with Walt Disney. Just frozen together, just sharing a cryonic tank together. I looked at the phone and I couldn't find it because it was under spider webs. And I said, yeah, this is it, you're done, you're over. That's why Rocky Balboa, with the help of Joe Roth, is a minor miracle. If I told you, hey, I think at 60 years old, I'm going to play a boxer who's 60, following a movie 14 years earlier that was a bomb, you go, and by the way, you're ice cold. Oh, where do I get the money? Where do I sign up? So the mere fact that that film came out is, and I wanted to show other people that you can't give up. You know what I am? A problem solver. I take out the trash. I remove those hard to get at stains. Oh, let's just put it this way. I'm a people person. It's unbelievably horrible what's happened. I think the biggest problem, seriously, is not so much guns, is every one of these people that have done these things in the past 30 years are crazy, really crazy. And that's where we've dropped the ball, mental health. You can't tell me you can't see that dude coming years in advance, that there's something off with him, and he's exposed to weapons, and no one's tipping off the head of the school. I'm talking about a member of Virginia College and things like that, or Aurora. So that to me is our biggest problem in the future, is insanity coupled with isolation.
Iconic American hip-hop artist Ice-T was here in the studio. The self-styled godfather of gangster rap had come to talk about a new documentary he's made about the art of rapping, which will be running on tomorrow night's programme. But while he was here and news about the Denver shooting was coming in, I briefly took the opportunity to ask him about his own attitude towards guns. And I asked him why he's such a defender of the right to bear arms.
Well, I give up my gun when everybody else does.
And is that
doesn't that make sense? Well, doesn't that make sense? I mean, if you were if there were guns here, would you want to be the only person without one?
So do you carry guns routinely at home? I mean, you have a gun at home?
Yeah, it's legal in the United States. It's part of our Constitution. You know, the right to bear arms is because that's the last form of defense against tyranny. Not to hunt. It's to protect yourself from the police.
And do you see any link between that and these sorts of incidents?
No. Nah, not really. You know what I'm saying? If somebody wants to kill people, they don't need a gun to do it.
Makes it easier though, doesn't it?
Not really. You can use you can strap explosives on your body. They do that all the time.
So when there's the inevitable backlash of the anti-gun lobby as a result of this incident, as there always is.
Well, that's not going to change anything in the United States. No. The United States is based on guns. You know, like KRS says, you'll never have justice on stolen land. So it's not going to change.
Both in your acting career and I guess in your work as a police officer, you had to deal with lots of guns. And you do seem to have a liking of sophisticated weaponry. You are here in Russia to promote a sniper rifle that will bear, as far as I understand, your own name. What attracts you in guns? Is it engineering? Is it the sense of power? Something else, maybe?
I mean, I believe in, you know, the sport, the Olympics, shooting and Olympics, long-range shooting, all these things. But I also believe that every country has the right to defend their own country. Every man has the right to defend his own wife and children and home. And I also believe that right should triumph over evil. And so I don't have anything against guns, because guns in and of themselves don't kill people. People kill people. So a gun is just like a plant or a tool, you know, and you can either do good with it, which is to protect and nurture humanity and mankind, or destroy. And I'm here to nurture and protect people.
Now, I think your own country, the United States, has a very complicated relationship with guns, because on one hand, it's almost perceived as a symbol of freedom protected by the Second Amendment, but on the other hand, it also created specifically American form of violence, mass shootings in schools and universities. So I wonder, where do you stand on the issue of gun control in the United States?
Well, first of all, I believe in the Second Amendment and the Constitution more than anything in the world. And I think that Adolf Hitler, for example, when he wanted to annihilate the people of Germany, the first thing he did was take away their guns. And the rights to bear arms wasn't just to protect the people from foreign invaders, it was to protect them against evil governments and anyone that would violate their inherent rights as a human being. So I believe in the Second Amendment, and I believe that, I hate to say this, a lot of these mass murders and all this funny stuff that's going on, I believe a lot of this is engineered.
And yet, in the aftermath of the, I think it was Newtown shooting, you were engaged in a Connecticut program, I think, to teach children in self-defense. Do you think those skills would be helpful if they were faced with somebody who was armed to the teeth?
Well, first of all, I wasn't teaching children to defend themselves. I was teaching what's called the posse, which are sworn officers to come in and defend schools. And so these are people that have had training with firearms. They have had police training. They're just not on my level, but they are, you know, sworn.
But you still thought that that engagement was important, and that there's something has to be done about the gun situation within schools and universities.
The most precious gift we have from God is our children. Why can't we spend money and time to protect our schools and our children? They have armed guards at every bank, at every jewelry store. If you go around Champs-Élysées, you go around France and Monaco and Beverly Hills, there's all these armed guards everywhere protecting money and jewelry. Why can't we protect our children?
I don't know, that's a good question. I have to ask you this. Do you think Hollywood and in particular action movies are partially responsible for glorification of gun violence?
I don't.
No?
I think that, you know, the more important thing we need to look at here is mental health, because there are mentally insane people in every country, and God knows we have our share in America. And I think this is the most important thing to learn there. Look at, I think statistically it's sort of proven that, you know, in Japan, for example, where they have the most violent movies on earth, and they have almost zero crime. What does that tell you? It's not really the movies as much as it's mental health issues and how these people can get help. And it's also parenting. You know, if you have parents who love the children, spend time with their children, teach their children right from wrong, and they have real parenting, you won't see any of this.
And yet, if we look at the pure data, statistics of violence in the United States, and the access that kids have to guns, the amount of time they spend with their parents, it doesn't look pretty well.
To be honest with you, my opinion is that the economy is so bad in America, and the common people are spending every waking moment just trying to survive, to the point where many of them feel like they really don't even have the luxury to spend time with their children.
I stand. Be it. get shot, you be like, damn, he must have did something. Shit, they put $50,000 worth of bullets in his ass. And everybody talking about gun control. Gotta get rid of the guns. Fuck that, I like guns. You got a gun, you don't have to work out. I ain't working out. I ain't jogging. You got pecs, I got pecs. And people will think before they kill somebody if a bullet costs $5,000. Man, I would blow your fucking head off if I could afford it. I'm gonna get me another job. I'm gonna start saving some money, and you a dead man. You better hope I'm mad shit. You don't need no gun control. You know what you need? We need some bullet control. We need to control the bullets. That's right. I think all bullets should cost $5,000. $5,000 for a bullet. You know why? Because if a bullet costs $5,000, there'll be no more innocent bodies. I can't get no bullets on layaway. So even if you get shot by a stray bullet, you won't have to go to no doctor to get it taken out. Whoever shot you, take their bullet back. I believe you got my property.